It was a beautiful day in the peaceful countryside, and the monastery was enveloped in a calm silence. As usual, the monk who tended to the gates was sitting in his little house reading a book, when he heard a gentle knock at the door. He put his book down and stood up, wondering who could be visiting him on such a quiet day. When he opened the door, he saw a man he recognized as a local farmer, holding a bunch of grapes in his hands. The grapes were of the finest quality, plump and juicy, and the farmer held them out to the monk with a kind smile. "Brother, these grapes are the finest my vineyard has produced. I've brought them as a gift for you," the man said, his voice full of warmth and kindness. The monk was taken aback by the gesture and replied, "Thank you, but I should bring these to the abbot as an offering. He will be pleased." But the farmer shook his head and insisted, "No, I brought them for you. Whenever I needed help, you were always there to offer me a piece of bread and a cup of wine. I hope this bunch of grapes will bring you a little joy and remind you of the beauty of nature." The monk felt a wave of gratitude and humility wash over him as he accepted the gift. He spent the entire morning admiring the grapes, marveling at their perfection and the generosity of the farmer who had given them to him. As he held the bunch in his hands, he felt a sense of peace and joy fill his heart. Eventually, the monk decided to share the gift with the abbot, who was delighted with the grapes and praised the farmer's kindness. But as the abbot examined the grapes, he thought of a sick brother in the monastery who could use a pick-me-up. So he gave the grapes to the sick monk, hoping to bring him some comfort and joy. The sick monk, who had been feeling low and weak, was amazed by the beauty of the grapes and felt a surge of energy and gratitude. He showed the grapes to the cook who had looked after him for so long, and together they marveled at the perfect fruit. The cook, who had been feeling overworked and underappreciated, felt a sense of joy and wonder fill his heart. He then decided to give the grapes to the monastery priest, who was responsible for the Holy Sacrament. The priest was touched by the gift and decided to pass it along to the youngest novice, hoping that he might appreciate the wonders of creation. The novice, who had only recently joined the monastery, was thrilled to receive the grapes and thought of the kind monk who had opened the gates for him on his first day at the monastery. He felt a sense of belonging and gratitude as he held the grapes in his hands, marveling at their beauty and the generosity of the people around him. Just before nightfall, he brought the grapes to the monk at the gates, the one who had originally received the gift from the farmer. He said, "Please enjoy these grapes, for you spend most of your time alone here. I hope they will make you happy." The monk was touched by the gesture and savored the grapes, appreciating the kindness of the rural man who had given them to him. As he ate the grapes, he reflected on how everything in life is connected and that the power of kindness brings people together. The concept of karma has been around for centuries, and it has been said that what goes around comes around. The idea is that the energy and intentions we put out into the world will eventually come back to us. This can be seen in the story of the rural man who brought the grapes to the monk at the monastery. The monk had shown kindness and generosity to the man in the past, and in return, the man wanted to offer him something in return. The grapes were a symbol of the rural man's appreciation and gratitude towards the monk. The monk, in turn, shared the grapes with others in the monastery who needed a pick-me-up, and the grapes continued to be passed along. This act of kindness created a ripple effect of generosity and appreciation that ultimately returned to the monk in the form of the novice bringing the grapes back to him. It's a powerful reminder that the energy we put out into the world can have a significant impact, and we should always strive to do good for others. By doing so, we can create a cycle of positivity and kindness that will come back to us in unexpected and wonderful ways.